Okay, guys, today we're going to be doing the volume of 3D shapes. Hold on, I got to get my little... Okay. Sorry about that. We're going to be doing volume. We're starting volume today, okay? So the first one we're going to start with is a rectangular prism. So I'm going to do each of these shapes differently all on one day just so you can get the practice from it. So the rectangular prism, the formula for the volume of rectangular prism, and these are on your formula chart, so make sure you use them, is V for volume equals big B times H. This big B is the area of the base, okay? It's the area of the base. I'm not gonna write it. The area of the base, okay? So whatever the base is, you find the area of that for the big B and then multiply it by the height of the prism, okay? So in a rectangular prism, the base is a rectangle. So it's gonna be like, it's gonna be it's going to tell you what the base is. So I would say these are the bases here, and I have them grayed. I'll have them grayed out for you when you do your assignment. Okay, and it usually tells you what the bases are. So we're going to identify the bases. So we're going to identify bases, find the area of the base, and then multiply it by the height of the prism. So it would be this length right here would be the height of the prism. Okay, so let's try a couple. So this says a crate is in the shape of a rectangular prism. The crate is 3 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 5 feet high. What is the volume of the crate in cubic feet? So I know I'm going to draw a little rectangular prism so we can visualize this. Okay. Okay. So that's my rectangular prism. So it says it's 3 feet long. So that's this length right here, 3 feet long by 2 feet wide. So that is the area of my base. Okay. And then 5 feet high. So the height of the rectangle is 5, of the rectangular prism is 5. So that height of if it says it's the height of the crate or of the prism, that is the distance between the two bases. Okay. So this distance between the two bases is going to be 5. Okay. So I'm going to do the area of the base first because volume is area of the base times the height. So area of the base, big B is area of the base. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 times 2 first. So 3 times 2 for the area of the base. And then I'll multiply that by the height, which is 5. And it tells me it's 5 feet high. So that's the height. So then I'm going to do 3 times 2 is 6. And 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, so, and that would be feet cubed. So this is in cubic feet now because it's a volume. So we're doing 3 different things. So essentially what we're doing with rectangular prisms is you're just multiplying all 3 of those numbers together. Length times width times height. That's all you're doing with a rectangular prism is just multiply the 3 numbers together. Okay, the most important part for area of a base for any 3D shapes is when we get into our pyramids and we get into cylinders when you do that next year in high school, in 8th grade, sorry. Okay, but for a rectangular prism, all you're doing is length times width times height. So 3 times 2 times 5. That's all you're doing. Okay, and that's all we have to do there. That's my answer. So let's do the next one. Rectangular prism. A storage container is shaped like a rectangular prism. The dimensions are shown below. What is the volume of the crate in cubic feet? So this shows me it. So the area of the base, that would be this 8 times 5, because that's my base, and then my height would be 20 here. Okay, but like I said, with rectangular prisms, we're just going to multiply them all together. So my volume is area of the base times height. So we're going to do 8 times 5, and then multiply that by 20. So everything's getting multiplied, which is why I can just multiply all 3 together, because if it's all multiplication, it doesn't matter what order you go in, you can do it all together. So 8 times 5 is 40, and then 40 times 20 is 800. Okay, so that's going to be 800 feet cubed. Okay, and that's all we got to do. So rectangular prism is pretty simple. You're just doing length times width times height for it. But I give you the B times H, the big B times the H, because you're on your formula chart, it's going to tell you volume equals base times height. So let me pull up the formula chart for you, and I'm going to show you exactly what it means there. Okay. Okay, so I have the formula chart right up here at the top of your page, of your Google Classroom page. Let's let it load. Right here, 7th grade star formula chart. Okay, this is going to be your friend. It has all of your formulas for area and volume and stuff on there. So make sure you're using it, okay? So this one, so this first page, linear equations, what's slope-intercept form, what's constant proportionality, that was back at the beginning of the year. And then we have circles. What are the circumference of a circle? What's the area of a triangle? What's the area of a rectangle or a parallelogram? What's the area of a trapezoid? And what's the area of a circle? Okay, and then we get into volume. So we're doing rectangular prism right now, right? So this is what it says, volume equals base times height. So that big B we need to know on the rectangular prism is just the length times width. So we would just be doing length times width times height. So this is just length times width on a rectangular prism. On a triangular prism, which we're going to go over on Monday, is going to be a little bit different because the area of a base of the area of a triangle is different. Okay, so we need to remember that. Okay, so remember this. Use it. It's got area. It's got pi on here. What pi is? It's got your distance formula and simple and compound interest formula on here. Okay. Your assignment today is in quizzes. You're going to be doing all rectangular prism stuff. So just work on that. And then if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Thanks, guys. You have a great day. Bye.